Hey everyone, welcome back. So it's day 2 of our mini vlog. We are travelling from Turkey all the way across Europe to the UK. And if you remember, we are using only ferries and trains. It's just me, Emma, and my little travel buddy Marley, who's now 15 years old. Today we'll be taking the overnight ferry from Rhodes Island to mainland Greece, arriving in the port of Piraeus. So come along and see what the journey has in store for us today. Next stop was the port of Rhodes, or so we thought. It turned out that we were actually at the wrong port. Not a total disaster, it's just the next one down. But what should have been a 15-minute stroll quickly became a 30-minute luggage leg workout. Anyway, finally we took the Acandia promenade, and there she was, our ship. We'd already checked in online and had our e-ticket ready, so boarding at 4 and we were going to set sail at 5. We board on deck 5, so had to climb up to deck 7, as there's no escalators allowed when you've got a dog in tow. But we reached our cabin, which was on floor 8. Then it was off to the aft deck, camera ready to watch Road drift away as the adventure called us once again. The ferry has several stops en route, but arrival time for us is going to be 8:25 AM. So all checked in, come and have a look at our cabin. We had a pet cabin on the Bluestar 2 ferry. It's a basic cabin, but it's nice and comfortable and clean and tidy. There are 4 beds in total. You actually get 2 drop-down bunks and 2 lower beds. Obviously, you have to book the whole cabin, even if you're solo once travelling with a doggy. The linen was nice and clean. It was nice and comfortable stay. A little bit noisy, but you have to expect that on ferry crossings. You have an ensuite bathroom. Again, perfectly fine. You do get the towels supplied, which is good. No hairdryer or anything, so don't expect any luxuries in that regard. But yeah, perfectly functional. One thing I would mention, there is only 1 plug socket in the room, which is over by the bed. So it might be something that you need to think about. Marley was perfectly comfortable and definitely approved and had the paws up by him. Most of the ship's amenities are located on deck 7. We have Flow Cafe. We also have many lounge areas for seating. Prices are reasonable, which I'll run through at the end. There are air seats and also a fast food style restaurant, Goodies Burger House. There's a self-service canteen style restaurant. Also, there's a small gift shop, an ATM cash dispenser, there's a kiddies corner, and an a la carte restaurant, which unfortunately I didn't reach. There is also a deck bar, which is located at the rear of deck 8, called the Atrium Bar. Last up, the dog kennels. They're set on the top deck in the open air and open to the elements. They're horrendous. The top deck is also the area where you would relieve your dog. Not a lot up there, pretty basic to be honest with you. Heading into day 3, I woke to a glorious sunrise. I headed up onto the top deck just to get some fresh air, go and find out what the options were for breakfast, and then it was time to pop to the cabin to wake up Sleepyhead, who was still fast asleep, give him his breakfast, pop up onto the top deck for a quick relief break, and then it was time to disembark at 8:25. Before arriving, I honestly didn't know what to expect. Piraeus isn't even a place that I'd even heard of. It's Greece's largest port and gateway to the Aegean Sea, with a history stretching back to the ancient times. Today we'll be exploring its lively streets and its beautiful waterfront promenade before we head into Athens. The ferry docked at gate E1. It had to be the furthest possible point from our Air BnB, didn't it? But we grabbed a quick coffee because we'd found out that there was a free shuttle bus service. That only took us around halfway round the harbour though. So we had a 1.5 kilometre walk with those heavy bags all the way to our Air BnB. Not too bad, but it was absolutely baking hot already at 8:30 in the morning. Zea Marina is where luxury yachts line the waterfront. It's one of the most upmarket marinas in Athens. It's surrounded by stylish cafes and upmarket restaurants, and the palm-lined promenade is perfect for a morning or evening stroll. It's clean and relaxed with a coastal vibe, and it shows off the chic side of Piraeus. On the southwest side of the marina, Greece's proud naval history is displayed at the Hellenic Maritime Museum. It's closed at the weekend, so I could only have a wander around and look at the statues outside. The eastern edge of Zea Marina gives one of the best viewpoints. Alexandra Square is a bastion-shaped plaza with a striking Greek genocide monument in the middle. As I wandered through the streets, you're surrounded by a mix of architectures and history, from the archaeological museum, the iconic clock, there's statues and beautiful churches and cathedrals all around. While we're in Piraeus, I've taken the opportunity to get Marley his EU pet passport, and that's so that our future travel in Europe in the motorhome is going to be easier and cheaper. So I had pre-booked a appointment online for a vet in Piraeus. I thought he needed the EU pet passport and a rabies injection. It turns out that he doesn't need the rabies injection, which is great. They are able to transfer all the information from his Turkish passport and his animal health certificate that was issued by the Turkish vet to the EU pet passport. So if you want information about the pet travel process from Turkey to the EU, or obtaining the EU pet passport in that manner, then drop me a comment and I will deal with that inquiry separately. I can go through the process of what I had to do in Turkey initially. The pet passport in Europe was only €20, which was great. I was expecting a lot more, and that included a full health check of him as well. Marley was getting tired, so it was best to drop him back to the Air BnB and let him rest. It's an excellent location, just a 2-minute walk from the Zea Marina front. The Air BnB was a private apartment with self-check-in. There was a spacious, bright and airy lounge area. There was a well-appointed kitchen with cold and hot drinks supplied, a modern bathroom and a very comfortable double bedroom. It was really clean and tidy, and there was free Wi-Fi. The price was £65 a night, and I'll put a link in the description. That afternoon I wandered through a charming port, which was alive with colourful fishing boats and seaside tavernas. I then hopped onto the tourist train to loop back to the main city centre and explored the main shopping district areas. Nearby, the Corai Square bustles with life. Is the hub of the city, surrounded by more stunning churches and cathedrals, and also a theatre. Is Piraeus worth visiting? To me, it was easy to walk between the attractions. I felt safe there. The marina area was lovely for strolling, and it makes for a cheaper option for anybody wanting to explore nearby Athens, which has easy metro access between the two areas. So that wraps up day 2 of our journey, where we've travelled from Rhodes Island to Piraeus, mainland Greece, covering a total distance of 553.1 kilometres today. And that brings our total distance travelled since leaving Turkey to 652.3 kilometres. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and to all my friends who have sent messages of support and checked in on myself and Marley along the way. It really means the world to me. If you would like to subscribe, it's completely free, and that way you'll stay updated with all our onward adventures. Tomorrow we are off to explore the must-see city of Athens before heading north to Italy on another ferry. This time it's a 30-hour ferry journey, so that's 2 nights on board, and we are crossing the Ionian Sea and cruising up the Adriatic Sea. We'll be passing the coastlines of Albania, Montenegro and Croatia before arriving in the world-famous floating city of Venice. But before we can leave, a few things don't quite go to plan, and suddenly our whole onward travel is in jeopardy. Luckily, my Air BnB host Alex comes to the rescue, but you'll see how that unfolds in the next vlog. Please don't forget to follow along on our Facebook page, which is called Gary and Emma's Adventures. Hit that follow button and the link will be in the description. And if you're new here or missed the first leg of the trip, when we left Turkey behind and headed to the island of Rhodes, then please make sure to check that one out, as it does explain how this whole epic journey began and what our plans are heading across Europe to the UK. Cheers, bye!